Episode 56 IX September 19, 2023. Patient Zero's indoor wood burner is replaced by a heat pump via a grant written by a near neighbor. The good news is that Patient Zero's indoor wood burner could be replaced by a heat pump via a grant written by a near neighbor. A portion of that grant money could be set aside for Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors if part of the indoor residential wood burner's replacement heat pump could be paid back to the former indoor wood burner with a tax credit for the heat pump. Stay tuned to this website to find out how to write such a grant if you are a near neighbor of a residential wood burner. What is the definition of Patient Zero in the world of indoor residential wood burners? To paraphrase the promotional copy for the 2018 exploitation film Patient Zero, https://www.imdb.com/title/TT3458254 after an unprecedented global pandemic turns the majority of humankind into infected, a human being gifted with the ability to speak the infected's language leads the last survivors on a hunt for Patient Zero and a cure. In the indoor wood burning context, Patient Zero is the original person afflicted with antibiotic resistance, the person blithely sitting inertly closest to the source of the affliction, an indoor residential wood burner. The others afflicted are, at first, only the near neighbors of the indoor residential wood burner, the hyper-localized canaries in a coal mine, afflicted with antibiotic resistance through proximity to Patient Zero. Today we will examine the real world of federal tax rebates for polluting indoor residential wood burners, as well as equal rebate opportunities for clean energy, non-polluting heat pumps at https://www.energy.gov/save/homeowners1. In the real world, money talks. To put it simply, alongside United States government subsidy limits for heat pumps, there are equal limits for monetary subsidies for indoor residential wood burners. If this is discouraging for near neighbors, skip this paragraph and go on to the next paragraph that discusses solutions. But in the real world, unjustly and against common sense, unfortunately, 1a, what the United States government obsequiously terms biomass wood boiler buyers can receive the incentive of a tax credit for the amount of 30% of the cost paid by the consumer, up to $2,000 per year. When who RAS up descriptively, plainly and accurately terms an indoor residential wood burner 1A1, buys an indoor residential wood burner, he or she can 1A2, submit IRS Form 5695, and when filing the indoor residential wood burner buyer's taxes, the indoor wood burner buyer 1A3 needs to meet the requirements detailed on irs.gov. 1A4, avert your eyes, near neighbors, from the sorry spectacle if you realize that indoor wood burners are rewarded for polluting your neighborhood. 1A5, however, there is a limit to the largesse of the United States government at this time. As the United States delicately terms them, biomass consumers have a $2,000 per year limit in total for biomass stoves/boilers, as well as 3 heat pumps for home heating or heat pump water heaters. 1A6, for example, if a consumer claimed 1A4, $1,000 for a biomass stove, and 1A5, $1,000 for a heat pump water heater or heat pump for home heat, you 1A6 could not also claim a 30% credit above $1,000 for a biomass wood boiler or biomass wood stove in the same year. 1A7, however, you could claim up to $1,200 for other incentives like windows, doors, electric panel, etc., for a total of up to $3,200 in credits for the year. 1A8, so in a way, there is an incentive not to buy a biomass, indoor residential wood burner if you want to receive the maximum tax credit, $2,000 for a heat pump in 1 year. 2. The first good news. Also in the real world, at https://www.energy.gov/save/homeowners2a, heat pump, geothermal, for whole home heating, incentive amount is 30% of the cost paid by the consumer is available through a tax credit. 2b, additional income-based incentives will be announced through the Home Energy Rebates Program, for households below 150% area median income. 2c, how to access, for the tax credit, submit IRS Form 5695 when filing your taxes. 2d, if you meet the requirements detailed on irs.gov. 2e, bad news for those impatient to buy geothermal heat pumps, rebates are not yet available. Stay tuned as the Home Energy Rebates programs are deployed nationwide and administered through your state energy offices. 3. The second good news. Heat pump, air source, energy efficient, for whole home heating. 3a, warning credits exist for both air source and geothermal heat pumps. A trusted professional who specializes in heat pump installation can help you decide which is best for your home and budget. 3b, incentive type, tax credit and rebate. 3c, incentive amount, 30% of the cost paid by the consumer, up to $2,000 per year, is available through a tax credit. Additional income-based incentives will be announced through the Home Energy Rebates Program, for households below 150% area median income. 3d, how to access, for the tax credit, submit IRS Form 5695 when filing your taxes. 3e, if you meet the requirements detailed on irs.gov. 3f, bad news for those impatient to buy air source heat pumps, rebates are not yet available. Stay tuned as the Home Energy Rebates programs are deployed nationwide and administered through your state energy offices. 3g, warning credits exist for both air source and geothermal heat pumps. A trusted professional who specializes in Heat pump installation can help you decide which is best for your home and budget. 3H, warning: consumers have a $2,000 per year limit in total for heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, and biomass stoves/boilers. For example, if you claimed $1,000 for a heat pump and $1,000 for a biomass stove, you could not also claim a 30% credit for a heat pump water heater in the same year. However, you could claim up to $1,200 for other incentives like windows, doors, AC, electric panel, etc., for a total of up to $3,200 in credits for the year. 4. The third good news. Also in the real world, water heater, heat pump, energy efficient. 4A, incentive type, tax credit and rebate. 4B, incentive amount, 30% of the cost paid by the consumer, up to $2,000 per year, is available through a tax credit. 4C, additional income-based incentives will be announced through the Home Energy Rebates Program, for households below 150% area median income. 4D, how to access. For the tax credit, submit IRS Form 5695 when filing your taxes. 4E, if you meet the requirements detailed on irs.gov. 4F, bad news for those impatient to buy air source heat pumps, rebates are not yet available. Stay tuned as the Home Energy Rebates programs are deployed nationwide and administered through your state energy offices. 4G, warning: heat pump water heaters require installation in locations in a home with certain temperature and space requirements. Learn more. 4H, warning: consumers have a $2,000 per year limit in total for heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, and biomass stoves/boilers. For example, if you claimed $1,000 for a heat pump and $1,000 for a biomass stove, you could not also claim a 30% credit for a heat pump water heater in the same year. However, you could claim up to $1,200 for other incentives like windows, doors, AC, electric panel, etc., for a total of up to $3,200 in credits for the year. 5. Water heater, solar. The bad news is there is no information on incentives for solar water heaters on the website at this time. 6. Wood and pellet. Rosep view. Are wood and pellet what the U.S. government inaccurately terms smart technology, or was this a typo or unfortunate place of the words wood and pellet next to smart technology? The good news is there is no information on incentives for what is termed wood and pellet on the government website at this time. 7. Smart technology. It is unclear if this phrase on the website refers to clean, non-polluting energy sources or simply to wood and pellet stoves, which are highly polluting. Rosep view. Maybe the U.S. government is reconsidering any rebate for wood and pellet appliances, given the Office of the Attorney General's, OIG, watchdog of the EPA, February 2023 report on the failed EPA wood stove certification program, which allows most wood stoves sold in the United States to be highly polluting. 7A, incentive type, rebate. 7B, incentive amount. Forthcoming income-based incentives will be announced through the Home Energy Rebates Program, for households below 150% area median income. 7C, how to access. Rebates are not yet available. 7D, Rosep view. A message for indoor residential wood and pellet burner buyers, impatient and determined to pollute their neighborhoods and spread antibiotic resistance, or perhaps this is a message for those wishing to employ clean non-particulate emitting smart technology such as smart hyper-localized residential electric grids that save energy, the website says. Stay tuned as the Home Energy Rebates programs are deployed nationwide and administered through your state energy offices. A letter sent on August 28, 2023 to the Assistant Attorney Generals threatening to sue the EPA over wood stove certification follows. Dear Assistant Attorney General, attached is a letter that was sent to the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, Director Dr. Jean Marazzo, former Acting NIAID Director Dr. Hugh Auchincloss and National Institutes of Health, NIH, Director Dr. Lawrence Tabak regarding regulation and the ability to shut down PM 2.5 polluting indoor residential wood burners. PM 2.5 pollution is known to cause antibiotic resistance, making infectious disease pandemics more likely and uncontrollable. The letter asks Dr. Marazzo to apply a parallel track to indoor residential wood burning pollution in 2023. This parallel track would include both EPA wood stove certification and a complaint-based system using Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor data collected from the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. This would be a way to address the very real impact of PM 2.5 pollution which EPA wood stove certification fails to address. We propose that the use of Purple Air monitors would provide important data on PM 2.5 air pollution that is currently missing in the EPA wood stove certification. This proposal is modeled on the approach Dr. Anthony Fauci used in 1989 that allowed a parallel track of both the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, use of AZT for AIDS that had the unfortunate side effect of blindness along with a second drug, ganciclovir, that actually cured the blindness. An earlier letter sent to your office asked that you include a complaint-based system of regulating indoor residential wood burning using Purple Air PM 2.5 data in your suit against the EPA. Indoor residential wood burners are already ineffectively certified by the EPA. This violates the EPA's own National Ambient Air Quality Standards, NOx, emission limits of 35 micrograms per cubic meter in a 24-hour period. Using data from Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors in the yards of near neighbors who complain of PM 2.5 from hyperlocalized indoor residential wood burners would provide the missing and important evidence of this type of air pollution. Currently, if a near neighbor's complaint is made to a local health department, a complaint using federal NOx exceedance data is not considered as a basis for a complaint against neighboring indoor residential wood burning. It is also not considered as a basis for shutting down the wood-burning appliance when the indoor residential wood stove has been federally EPA certified. Lawsuits for nuisance are expensive and beyond the means of the average American and are not considered precedents in courts generally. Contacting state agencies to shut down polluting wood stove use that affects the health and lives of near neighbors has been unproductive because decisions made by the EPA determine the decisions made by state agencies. Although the scope of your lawsuit seems confined to asking the EPA to continue their wood stove certification program as is, albeit at a faster pace, we ask that you consider the intent behind asking the EPA to tighten their standards for wood stove certification on a regular basis. The intent of an environmental protection agency is to protect the environment. This has perhaps been narrowly construed to be protecting air, water, and ground from contamination from industries only. But United States citizens should actually benefit from this environmental protection as well. Tightening wood stove standards on a regular basis should result in protecting the environment as well as protecting United States citizens from harm from the air, water, and ground. We believe that the EPA's responsibilities are inextricably connected with public health responsibilities of other government agencies such as NIID. Please try to accomplish something meaningful for the American people with this lawsuit by considering using a parallel track to include PM 2.5 data in future decisions about air quality standards. Although I am not your constituent, by commencing to sue a federal agency you are representing me as a citizen of the United States and in that sense as your constituent. Thank you. Sent to Cody.Doig@alaska.gov Alaska Senior Assistant Attorney General Cody Doig Jason.James@ilag.gov Illinois Assistant Attorney General Jason James Goldstein at oag.state.md.us Maryland Special Assistant Attorney General Stephen Goldstein Turner.Smith at mass.gov Massachusetts Assistant Attorney General Turner Smith Peter.Serdo at ag.state.mn.us Minnesota Special Assistant Attorney General Peter Serdo Lisa.Morelli at law.njoag.gov New Jersey Deputy Attorney General Lisa Morelli Nicholas.Batino at ag.newyork.gov New York Assistant Attorney General Nicholas Batino Paul.Garahan at doj.state.or.us Oregon Attorney in Charge Paul Garahan Steve Novak at doj.state.or.us Oregon Special Assistant Attorney General Steve Novick Nick.Persompieri at Vermont.gov Vermont Assistant Attorney General Nick Persompieri Caroline.Kress at atg.wa.gov Washington Assistant Attorney General Caroline Kress Chris.Wrights at atg.wa.gov Washington Assistant Attorney General Chris Wrights Jennifer at scleanair.gov General Counsel Puget Sound Clean Air Agency Jennifer A. Dole Jean.Marazzo at nih.gov Director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Jean Marazzo Hugh.Auchincloss at nih.gov January to July 2023 Acting Director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Hugh Auchincloss Lawrence.Tabak at nih.gov Director of the National Institutes of Health Lawrence Tabak https://RAC President Testword pre-ss.com/ please attach PDF letter to NIID Director Dr. Jean Marazzo to an email from you to Jean Marazzo NIH.gov/ episode 56 GF July 19, 2023. The Ask, request a complaint-based system from 10 attorney generals suing the EPA to give wood stove users certainty. The Ask, emails of 3 NIH officials Jean.Marazzo at nih.gov, Hugh.Auchincloss at nih.gov, Lawrence.Tabak at nih.gov emails of 13 assistant attorney generals, deputy attorney generals and general counsel preparing to sue the EPA to provide clarity for indoor residential wood stove manufacturers, vendors, and users. Instead, the Assistant Attorneys General should ask for a PM 2.5 pollution complaint-based system in place of the failed wood stove certification program. The states involved are Alaska, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington, as well as the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency. A new icon has been added to the RAWSC President's website, which is now the nearest right icon. The icon is an ask that has already been described in episode 56 GB, description of the parties who should be at the table when deciding on safe wood stove emission limits and fence line measurements, rather than wood stove certification, and emails to contact 10 deputy or assistant attorney generals and 1 general counsel. Those PDFs are included at the icon link. Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, see https://racpresidents.wordpress.com and click on the nearest right icon for the ask. 1. Email PDF letters to 3 officials of the National Institutes of Health, NIH, and NIID. https://racpresident testword pre-ss.com/ please attach PDF letter to NIID Director Dr. Jean Marazzo to an email from you to Jean Marazzo NIH.gov/ the ask 2. Email PDF letters to 13 assistant attorneys generals, deputy attorney generals and general counsel https://racpresident testword pre-ss.com/ please contact attorneys general about August suit versus EPA asking for certainty for wood stove users. RASEP asks for complaint-based system based on PM monitor data exceeding EP/2. The right of that 3, Barbie goes to the dating game https://rossipresidents.wordpress.com/1-barbie-goes-to-the dating game to the right of that 4, cookies that may contain rocks are recalled https://rossipresidents.wordpress.com/cookies-that-may-contain-rocks-are-recalled to the right of that 5. The Fox owns the forest card game https://rossipresidents.wordpress.com/the-fox-owns-the-forest-card-game-tba then to the right of that, the latest months, 6, September and 7, August and 8, July 2023. Of PDFs of articles with URLs to search on https://rossipresidents.wordpress.com/1-september-2023-pdfs-of-urls https://rossipresidents.wordpress.com/1-august-2023-pdfs-of-urls and https://rossipresidents.wordpress.com/1-july-2023-pdfs-of-urls to the right of that, 9, stickers to hand out for ROSEP, 10, flyers to hand out for ROSEP, games such as 11, bingo for ROSEP, 12, crosswords for ROSEP 13, PM 2.5s Jeopardy free game https://youtube.be/lnsg 32pydnc 14, PM 2.5 free Monopoly https://youtube.be CUCK1 PSCQNQ and Endwood Smoke Monopoly 9E, vending machines for PM 2.5 monitors, and 15, icon links to 30-minute YouTube videos and Spotify podcasts as well as podcasts.google.com, Castbox and Pocket Cast. Pocket Cast is only free on the phone app, Pocket Cast works on Apple phones, and, below those icons, icon links to monthly URLs of PDFs from June 2023 to May 2022.